New York City, the most populous city in the United States, is made up of 5 boroughs: Manhattan, the Bronx, Queens, Brooklyn, and Staten Island. The East River is a 16-mile-long tidal strait and saltwater estuary that separates the Bronx and Manhattan from Long Island, where Queens and Brooklyn are located. However, bridges and tunnels spanning the East River have united these 4 boroughs, helping to create one of the world's most important cities. There are 10 bridges spanning the East River, going from south to north. These are the Brooklyn Bridge. The Brooklyn Bridge is a hybrid suspension cable-stayed bridge spanning the East River between the boroughs of Manhattan and Brooklyn. This iconic bridge, long viewed as a symbol of the great city of New York, opened on May 24, 1883, and was the first fixed crossing of the East River. It was also the longest suspension bridge in the world at the time of its opening, with a main span of 1,595.5 feet, or 486.3 meters, and a deck 127 feet, or 38.7 meters, above mean high water. The bridge has 2 levels. The lower level carries 5 lanes of car traffic and a dedicated 2-way protected bicycle lane, while the upper level elevated promenade is used exclusively by pedestrians. Unlike the Manhattan Bridge and the Williamsburg Bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge does not have subway tracks. The Manhattan Bridge is a double-decker suspension bridge connecting Lower Manhattan at Canal Street with downtown Brooklyn at the Flatbush Avenue extension. The bridge has a total length of 6,855 feet, or 2,089 meters. It opened to traffic on December 31, 1909, and began carrying streetcars in 1912 and subway trains in 1915. The bridge now carries 5 westbound and 2 eastbound lanes, as well as the B, D, E, N, and Q trains. The Williamsburg Bridge is a suspension bridge connecting the Lower East Side of Manhattan with the Williamsburg neighborhood of Brooklyn. Originally known as the East River Bridge, the Williamsburg Bridge opened on December 19, 1903, at 7,308 feet, or 2,227 meters long, was the longest suspension bridge span in the world until 1924. The bridge currently has 8 lanes of roadway, 4 in each direction, and also carries the J, M, and Z trains. The Queensboro Bridge, also known as the 59th Street Bridge, but officially named the Ed Koch Queensboro Bridge, is a cantilever bridge that opened on March 30, 1909. Passing over Roosevelt Island, it connects the East Midtown and Upper East Side neighborhoods in Manhattan with the Long Island City neighborhood in the borough of Queens. It consists of 5 steel spans measuring 3,725 feet, or 1,135 meters long. Including approaches, its total length is 7,449 feet, or 2,270 meters. The Roosevelt Island Bridge is a tower drive vertical lift bridge that connects Roosevelt Island in Manhattan to Astoria in Queens, crossing the East Channel of the East River. The bridge opened on May 18, 1955, as the Welfare Island Bridge. Its total length, including approaches, is 2,877 feet, or 877 meters. However, its main span is 418 feet, or 127 meters. When open, it provides ships with 100 feet, or 30 meters, of vertical clearance. The Triborough Bridge, officially called the Robert F. Kennedy Bridge, or RFK Bridge, is a complex of bridges and elevated expressway viaducts. The bridges link the boroughs of Manhattan, Queens, and the Bronx. The bridge opened on July 11, 1936, and the segment crossing the East River connects Randall's and Ward's Islands of Manhattan to Queens. The Hellgate Bridge, originally the New York Connecting Railroad Bridge, or the East River Arch Bridge, is a 1,017-foot, or 310-meter steel-through arch railroad bridge. It opened on March 9, 1917, and was built for 4 tracks. The bridge now carries 2 tracks of Amtrak's Northeast Corridor and 1 freight track across the Hellgate, a strait of the East River, between Astoria in Queens and Randall's and Ward's Islands in Manhattan. Rikers Island Bridge, officially named Francis R. Buono Memorial Bridge, is a fixed, low-level span built with concrete and steel that connects Rikers Island in the borough of the Bronx with the borough of Queens in New York City. The bridge, which opened on November 22, 1966, begins in Astoria, Queens, and continues to the south side of Rikers Island. The bridge crosses the Rikers Island channel of the East River and Bowery Bay. The Bronx Whitestone Bridge, also called the Whitestone Bridge or the Whitestone, is a suspension bridge carrying 6 lanes of Interstate 678 over the East River. The bridge connects Throgs Neck and Ferry Point Park in the Bronx on the East River's northern shore with the Whitestone neighborhood of Queens on the southern shore. The bridge opened on April 29, 1939, and has a 2,300-foot or 700-meter main span between its 2 suspension towers. The Throgs Neck Bridge is a suspension bridge carrying 6 lanes of Interstate 295 over the East River where it meets the Long Island Sound. The bridge, which is 2,910 feet or 890 meters, connects the Throgs Neck section of the Bronx with the Bay Terrace section of Queens. Opened on January 11, 1961, it is the newest bridge across the East River and was built to relieve traffic on the Bronx Whitestone Bridge. So there you have it, an exciting look at the 10 bridges spanning the East River. Make it an important part of your next visit to New York City to see these bridges.